Alright guys, now as far as my gear reviews go, I do almost exclusively electric guitars. I've never done an acoustic before, but today I'm going to talk about the Ovation Applause MFAE48. And this is, this particular guitar I have here, but I'm also going to talk kind of more broadly about the Ovation Applause line of guitars. This one is actually not super common, but it's very similar to a typical Applause guitar in the Ovation style that you would get. So now the reason I want to talk about this today is I always like to make a video anytime I find a piece of gear that I feel is kind of undervalued or underappreciated. Now a lot of people debate about the Ovation guitars as far as the tone and the playability and the different pros and cons of them. They definitely do have their own sound. It doesn't sound quite like a traditional acoustic guitar. It's almost like a blend of a clean electric and an acoustic. I happen to really like the tone. Of course, I'm a big Yngwie fan, and if you hear his acoustic work, it all has that kind of, I guess, a more modern acoustic tone to it. And so that's definitely the kind of tone that you're going to get with an instrument like this. Now, one really big advantage is they're really nice looking guitars. This one has kind of a bird's eye maple top on it. Of course, you got the trademark Ovation wooden leaf designs here. There's no traditional sound hole where it would typically be. The sound holes are here and here. And of course, the big thing is the back, which is kind of a composite material. This one has a pretty thin body. A lot of Ovations are like that, although some of them are deeper. But anyway, let's go ahead and listen to how this sounds. Then we'll talk a little bit more about the playability. Okay, so that was some playing with this Ovation Applause here, and I want to point out that its Applause is kind of a sub-brand of Ovation. It's similar to the way Squier and Fender are related. Now, don't let that give you the wrong idea. A lot of the times, Squiers are considered kind of low-end instruments, and some of them are, but there are some kind of mid-range instruments that are really nice. And similar to these, they're really kind of undervalued because these are generally made in Korea to a very high standard of quality, and they're really nice instruments. And of course, not everybody wants to or has the ability to buy a several $1,000 Ovation acoustic. So this is definitely a good option to consider if you're looking for something like that. Now, one of my favorite features on the Ovations is the bridge. Typically, an acoustic style bridge, you've got the holes that the string goes down into the guitar, then you've got these sort of plugs that keep the string from coming out. It's kind of a cumbersome way to restring a guitar when you have to take all those plugs out and then put them back in and make sure they don't slip out. This has a bridge that's much similar to like a hardtail or a stoptail bridge that you would find on like a Les Paul or something like that. The strings feed in through the back of the bridge, and then the ball end sits up against the wood. Now, of course, up here on the headstock, we've got a pretty standard 3x3 tuning arrangement. right, everybody, stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.